Have you ever been through some traumatic experiences or some past experiences that gave you emotional wounds? We only see the screenshots of these happy moments of the people on Instagram and social media, and sometimes it makes you feel like, why not me? The truth is we're not supposed to have a life without obstacles and hardship. We're designed to actually have them in our life, but it is hard. And especially I helped a lot of people who had emotional traumas and emotional wounds, and I personally had the traumatic experiences within my life and healed myself and healed these people through the coaching and the mentorship. But for people who don't have that guidance and the mentorship and accountability, it is actually really hard to go through this process. Because of the social media, we hear all these stories of transformation, self-healing, and then all the crazy letting go, and then like awakening, and then all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to our life, it seems almost impossible. If you don't heal all these traumas and pain within you, that will linger the rest of your life. And I also went through these traumatic experiences back in the days in the school, quite a long time actually, starting from 10. When I was 10 or 11, and it definitely shaped certain beliefs, and then I planted so many fears within my head until I dealt with it and decided to let it go. And if you're currently struggling to heal yourself from the past wounds and emotional trauma back in the days, then this is the video for you. So keep watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification bell. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sho, and in this video I'm going to share how you can heal yourself from the past trauma and emotional wounds, and I call it 5-phase self-healing. So here's the 5-phase self-healing process. Phase 1, time travel. Phase 2, self-awareness. Phase 3, identity. Phase 4, forgiveness. Phase 5, turning into wisdom. So the first phase is the time travel, and this is literally you travel back to your past, but with your mind. And most of the people wouldn't do that, because why would you do that? Because it's such a painful memory. You don't want to even think about that. You want to avoid it. You want to get away from that and then move on. But that's exactly why most people can't heal themselves and then remain in that pain, even though it is like 10 years ago, still feeling and re-experiencing on a daily basis. But why? Because even if you don't think about it, even if you avoid that, your body and your mind remembers that each experience and each pain as in a sensation, and it's stored in your subconscious mind. So idea of this self-healing is basically you twist and change the code of your memory, and then the memory itself changes within you. So think about it this way. You are absolutely different person right now. You are grown, you're more stronger, you are powerful. You have a different intention when you remind yourself, when you actually re-experience that, when you time travel, you have a stronger ally, which is who you are now. So basically what you're going to do is you have to meditate on it. And then whether you are laying down or sitting and making a zazen, you have to find yourself very, very comfortable. And you can prepare your crystals, you can prepare a glass of water, make yourself comfortable. And I have to travel back in time. And it was painful, sure, because I was bullied and I didn't want to go to school, I didn't like all these people. And it reminds me the things that I wouldn't even think about nowadays. So I had to remember things that I didn't even remember before. So I had to travel back in time, and then I remembered so many things that I didn't even remember. When I was bullied, I didn't want to go to school, that how I felt. And I discovered so much hate from this time travel and then things that I couldn't see it before. So take your time. You have to meditate on it. The next phase is awareness. This phase will help you to expand your awareness. And then you might say that, hey, Sho, I already know myself. I already know I'm a pretty self-aware person. And that's exactly how I know that you're not self-aware. The self-aware person realizes the more you learn about yourself, the more you have a deeper understanding that you know nothing. And this is a quote from Socrates. I am the wisest man alive. For I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. I thought I knew about myself. I thought I'm a self-aware person, but I found out that I was not, clearly. So you're supposed to realize that more, that you know nothing about yourself, and then that makes you more curious. That makes you wonder about yourself and then about your future and then all this uncertainty in an optimistic way. And that is the ultimate self-awareness looks like. So essentially, expanding your self-awareness teaches us so many things that we couldn't see before. I actually didn't realize that I hated my last name, because when I was bullied, people called me my last name, which is Nemoto, instead of Sho. So that's why I kept not introducing my last name or not really exposing my last name to people until I actually found in this 5-phase self-healing. So there's actually a level in self-awareness. If you're slightly aware, you are that awareness 1. And if you're aware, but not sure exactly or not specifically, then 2. If you're aware with details and exactly why. So if you go to this phase, you expand your self-awareness and realize so many things that you didn't see, and that makes you even more curious, even though it might be really hard to deal with and to face. That again, set your mindset, set your intention that you're strong, and then you can deal with it, you're here to move on. The next phase is identity. As I became more self-aware about my past and what I feel, and I found out all these like hatred about my last name and all the other details, I started to identify all these specific details within this pain. You can see that it was painful experience and that was too abstract. Now you have to identify each pains and each trigger, each experience with specific details. So this is where the self-awareness level comes in. If you're aware with specific details within this like one single event or experience, then you are leveling up your self-awareness from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. So in this identification process, we are aiming at 2 to 3, that you have more specificity within each memories. Even if you think that you're already aware and you think that you're already a self-aware level 3, most of the time you're number 2. Because your perception is one-sided. So you can't see the other side of the coin through your 5 senses, which means the memory is basically the creation, the screenshot of your emotional state through these 5 senses. The data is coming from all these 5 senses, whether it's a visual, whether it's sensory. So until you really flip the coin and change the angle and really take your time to process all this time travel and the memory, you haven't reached the level 3. So the best question to ask yourself is that why do I feel this in the first place? And I felt deep down it was very painful and I didn't like my name and all that kind of stuff, but I wasn't not really aware the specific reason behind. And I knew that I didn't like the people calling me my last name. I knew that. But when I asked myself, why do I even feel this way in the first place? There is another layer to it. So by asking yourself a question, which is, why do I feel this way in the first place? Your brain started to go through this neural pathway from idea to idea, the association, and then find out the reason within your subconscious mind. So the deeper you go, the more realization that will arise with emotion and specific details. And then you get to the next phase, which is forgiveness. And most of the people don't even understand why you have to forgive. But why do you have to forgive in the first place? Have you ever thought about that? If you haven't, pause the video, think about that, let me know in the comments, and restart the video. So the answer is, you don't forgive people who did something bad to you because they deserve the forgiveness, or because they deserve a second chance. Honestly, I believe, this is completely my opinion by the way, so I believe there's a lot of people actually don't deserve a second chance. I believe there's a lot of people who don't deserve the forgiveness. The reason why you have to forgive is for your own benefit. You forgive others for yourself, for your own benefits, for your own happiness, for your own future. Because that revenge and hatred causes so many shit within you. And then they are not the fucking one who's suffering from that anger and the pain and all the suffering. They're not the one. They might be the one who caused initiated the problem, but you are the one feeling like a shit and then have to deal with all this like decades. So when you forgive for yourself, not anyone else. And obviously right now it's a self-healing process, but if you have encountered some moments that you might be able to forgive, or think about the hatred and the revenge, you have to forgive. But by forgiving, by appreciating and by moving on and learning something from this experience, is now not causing any pain within me. Which I used to think so many things, and I used to fear exact the same thing from the people that I meet. Like they might hate me or things like that, that I still experiencing the fear and the pain in this present moment. So forgive for your own well-being. And once you've done this phase, now you get to the next phase, which is turning to wisdom. In this phase, you will literally change the code of the memory that you stored in your subconscious mind into the wisdom. The reason why so many people out there saying, yeah, I've learned a lesson, it was a great experience, whatever, and then making the same exact mistake, is because they don't know how to do this. And this is what the alchemy means. You have a divinity within you from the beginning, that you were from the mother's belly. And We lost the connection to it. We don't know how to tap into that. And most of us are educated into such a wrong way that God is like out there and we just separated existence. And all this education from the society and government and all the domestic education from our parents, they're just not doing such a justice for our well-being. But you're fucking infinite within. And this is exactly how you can tap into your divinity, is change your perspective. By changing perspective, that's a super simple idea, Show. Like, everyone can do that. No, the reason why everybody cannot do it is because you need the right attitude. If you're listening to your teacher with the wrong attitude, you're not gonna learn shit. You have to have a right attitude. If you have a right attitude to learn from this teacher of yours, you will learn so much. You will learn everything you need to learn. And your own life and your own existence is the best teacher in this whole world. And if you have a wrong attitude, you will learn nothing. What I mean by wrong attitude, that doesn't mean that you are rude. That means that are you willing to accept something that outside of your knowledge? Are you willing to think outside of what your parents told you? Are you willing to accept and then think outside of the box of what your religion told you? So by changing your own attitudes towards the life and in your own existence, that will allow you to introduce to a new perspective. And that, my friend, is how you alchemize your experience into the wisdom. This is the seed of your success. This is the seed of your happiness. No plants will bloom without a seed. This can be done within one day. This can be done within 1 month. It is really up to how the process works with you. And the change is quite obvious. So you have to really take time in each phase and in each process and to really, really tap into that alchemy, the divinity that you hold within you. And then obviously, this is such an overwhelming process. It seems like a very simple and a short idea within 20 minutes video, but it is a lot. So if you really, really want to do this, and if you really, really want to expand even further and then pursue your passion and feeling loved within and feel confident who you are, and I have a great news for you. I have an open spot for my coaching. You can apply from the link in the description and then you can get a free consultation with me or my team. So I really hope to see you in a Zoom call if you're ready to make a change. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Really hope, sincerely hope that this will help you heal yourself and have a better life. And if you like the content, if you like the video that I make, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Live your life like a movie.